how many of you know, but UNIFEM was only a sub-department. It had no place in the executive board of the UN. It was under the governance of UNDP. It did not have full-time, full-fledged offices in many countries. It had only few regional offices. And compared to the budget that UNICEF budget, which was, I think, it was more than 102% more. The UNICEF budget was more. So it was 0.2% that UNIFEM's budget had. So you might wonder, UN says, gender equality, women's empowerment, but they have invested so little resources on women, and they do not have a full-fledged, powerful body working on women's issues. So that is why women's groups gathered together to say that we need to lobby. During this UN reform process, we need to lobby and advocate for a separate women's department that has money, that has power, and that has a mandate to bring changes and place in the executive board. So these were some of our demands. So in Nepal, my personal experience in Nepal, I was the chair of the National Women's Commission in Nepal at that time. So I called a meeting of many women's activists and NGOs and briefed them about the situation and said we need to start campaigning for this, advocating and lobbying for this. And their question was, we are in Nepal, it is so far away from New York where the policies take place. How are we able to lobby and influence the UN in New York? But we started it, we said we can start small, So we started it, in the beginning we called it Friends of UNIFEM, because we felt that maybe UNIFEM needs to grow bigger. So in Nepal we called it Friends of UNIFEM. We were 35 organizations in the first meeting. And we started working on letters and memorandums. And then we realized, so national level it began. I still remember the first meeting was called in March 26, 2006 in Nepal. So gradually we said, no. If we work alone, Nepal, New York is not going to listen to us. It's such a small country way away in Asia. Why would they listen to us? So we need to expand and we need to grow. So we approached our other South Asian partners, and then the Friends of UNIFEM transformed into South Asian Campaign for Gender Equality. So it became a South Asian campaign where several South Asian organizations from mainly the 5 South Asian countries, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal joined hands together. And now we needed to find strategies. How are we going to influence? So when we did our homework, we realized that the UN has formed a committee of 15 members to look into the UN reform process. And out of those 15 members, there was one in South Asia, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Shaukat Aziz, who was the co-chair of this 15-member committee. The other chair was the President of Mozambique and Prime Minister of Norway. So these were the 3 chairs of this 15-member committee. So we said, who is our closest ally? From South Asia, our closest ally was the Prime Minister of Pakistan. So we needed to influence who is our target audience. We need to find that out. So we needed to influence the highest order and who's closest to us. We could not go to Mozambique or Norway. And probably the Mozambique and Norwegian presidents would not listen to us as the South Asian would. So we planned a delegation, a South Asian delegation, to go and meet the Prime Minister of Pakistan with our memorandum and our demands. It wasn't easy, but because it requires resources, how many of you will go, all those kinds of things. But however, there were 12 women who went to Pakistan at the end of April 2006, and through support from some of the government officials, again, advocacy requires who, from among us, who knows who and who can approach whom. These are informal strategies that you need to have. So there were some officials who were supportive of our campaign within the Pakistani government, and we used that clout to reach to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister agreed because he thought I am the chair of the National Women's Commission, so I have the position to meet the Prime Minister of Pakistan. This is just to use my clout at that stage, at that stage. So he agreed, or his secretaries agreed, saying, okay, if you lead the campaign or the delegation as the chair of the National Women's Commission of Nepal and come with your other South Asian sisters, the Prime Minister will meet you. So that's how we went to meet the Pakistani Prime Minister with our demands. The Pakistani Prime Minister, being a very good diplomat, listened to us, but he threw a challenge. He said, you are 12 of you from South Asia. What proof do you have that you represent the whole of South Asia? See the need for a network. That's what they are going to say. 5 people, you represent Asia? How do I know that? So then you need to have a backing. Like, for example, if we have this South Asian network of so many members, perhaps there is a validity, a leverage. So he threw that at us. And he said, give me something, give me a leverage to say that you represent South Asia. So I said, okay. We went back, we devised and planned. So we said, we will collect 1 million signatures in 2 months' time from all over South Asia to present to the committee. So we managed to collect 1 million signatures from all over South Asia, and I still have in my office in Nepal, if you come I can show you, fact books of these signatures, all piled up in my books, and we couriered it to the 3 chairs of the committee. Now courier, thick books is quite something. But that was a strategy. And the other strategy was, we also identified some key activist friends from New York who could brief us about what is happening in New York every day. Otherwise, we are so far away and we don't know. So they would write to us. And I remember getting up in the middle of the night because a UN friend phoned and said, the plan is tomorrow to say what is going to be in the report of the UN reform. So your fax needs to reach the name of this person on his desk when he gets up tomorrow morning. So the time difference, 10, 11 hours of time difference. So I had to actually literally get up in the middle of the night and send a fax, so that when that person looks at it the next morning, they get it in the table. And then we had friends who would be actually saying that this is a fax from Nepal or South Asia. So it cannot be done in isolation. You need friends everywhere. So actually, I do remember in my next meeting when I went to New York, and I was advocating with mostly with the South Asian missions in New York, and I went and met the UN ambassador for Pakistan in New York, the mission. The ambassador, he looked at me and he looked at my card and said, oh, so you are Vandana Rana. I have been getting your letters so many times and reading your mails and the letters that are forwarded from Pakistan to me saying, look at this, and every letter has Vandana Rana in it. So I know the name very well, but I hadn't met you. So in a way, you might think they will not listen, they will not look, but you will have to continuously be strategic and make your demands heard. And then, of course, gradually, campaigns had started all over the globe. In North America, Latin America, the other parts of the globe, also in Europe. So, and we needed a working body in New York to tell us what is happening. So we grew into a global campaign. And then it was called the Gender Equality Architecture Reform, the GEAR campaign. So the South Asia also became a part of the global campaign, the need for a global campaign again, because there are global policies. There are policies that take place at the global level. So we became a part of the global campaign. Where am I? Yes. So it took us a long time. The initial report that the committee presented did have, we were so happy to see even a one sentence, 2 words included in the report and said, oh, this is from our letter, this is from our memorandum, these particular words have been taken from there. It's so gratifying to see that in a huge report. But the UN bureaucracy is very slow. In November 2006, they came up with the first report and we were extremely happy. We even celebrated in Nepal. You know, we even held a press conference saying that most of our demands have been included in the report. Little realizing that the UN process takes a long time for that to materialize. So it was only after consistent advocacy with the missions, with the UN, regional networks, getting the voices at the global level, collaborating and cooperating and communicating and coordinating with all these different stakeholders that finally you may have heard that UN Women was established in the end of 2010 and formally launched in 2011 February at the UN building in New York. And since you all are my Asian sisters, on behalf of the Asian sisters who all supported the GEAR campaign, I'm very proud to inform you that I was invited as the global civil society representative to address that launching. So, I mean, for the Asia, it's a matter of pride because normally Asians are not represented. You know, there's a lot of focus on Africa, and usually it is Africa's portfolio. So for the first time, you know, it was only one global civil society representative to speak at the UN in a full hall. So to represent the global civil society, I was actually invited to speak, and I think that's a good for all of us. It's a pride for all of us. Yeah. Thank you. So this is just an example of a campaign that started very small from a national level with a meeting of 35 NGOs, expanded to a sub-regional level, and then to the global level. So collaboration and cooperation is required from all quarters, and then you need to have that cycle, you know, that planning, assessing, analyzing, changing your tactics, and then evaluating and saying where we are wrong and, you know, all that. So this is just to give you an example of why advocacy is extremely important and what are the cycles. Yeah. Okay. So what are the key to successful advocacy? One, we need a clear common objective. You know, we all need to believe in that. We really need to work or be dedicated towards it. Second, we need a collective voice. And then we need strategic and timely interventions at different levels. And I always say that these 5 C's are extremely important in all advocacy. That is commitment. First, you need to be committed to the issue that we are working on. And then you need to collaborate with others. You need to tell others. You need to collaborate with others. And then you need to communicate your feelings. You need to be in communication. And then coordination is required. You know, who does what, how, everything is required. And if we do not cooperate with each other, it's not successful. So I think these 5 C's are extremely important for a successful advocacy. Now, what do we gain out of this, you know, strengthening advocacy through this Asian network? These are just some points at the, you know, top of my head. I'm sure we can add. But I think we can have a recognized, powerful regional voice. That's one. These are possibilities of change. We can have increased pressure on governments, regional bodies to introduce, reform, and implement laws and policies. We can say India has already implemented that law. They are doing so well, and it is working this way. We need it in Nepal. Or same, you know, you can have that comparative advantage, comparative knowledge. Increased funding from development partners, governments, UN agencies, and other partners. Increased support for life skill and economic empowerment. And wider and stronger collaboration between different stakeholders. So I think these are some of the possibilities that we can get. I'm sure there are much, much more. But these are some of the major you know, changes that we may be able to achieve through an Asian network for women shelters. So I'll stop there. Thank you so much.